Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we're going to take a look at the World of Tanks test server. Now, before we start, I have a different garage. As you can see, it's a mod. You can get it on the Cursed World of Tanks mod website, for instance. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description, but I don't know if I'll remember. Anyways, I'm doing this because of a test. Because the World of Tanks garage, the default non-premium garage, takes up my entire video card to render. 100% load on my video card. Putting in this garage, which is technically bigger, I think, actually even more tanks and models in it, so it should be heavier on my video card, is actually lighter. I like 25%. Right now I'm at 86% video card percent, power usage, activity, whatever you want to call it. And before it was a solid 99%. And I have nothing else running, everything else is closed, so yeah, they fucked up the garage again. It's pretty bad. I was wondering why my video card was having such a tough time just in a garage, but yeah, that's why. So installing custom garage might not be a bad idea. I tried the cave with the waterfall. That one doesn't seem to work in 9.1. I don't know why, but it doesn't seem to work. This one did, and it actually uses up, well, let's say 20% less GPU video card. So yeah, installing a garage mod might not be a bad idea if you want to save some power and heat and that sort of stuff. So that's that out of the way. Let's take a look at the patch notes. We have a newly added map, and I have actually not seen the map yet. Let's take a quick look at some team training. I think it's with a K. Yes, there is. It is a, I would almost say, full-on city map, and I have no idea how this is going to play out. I'm going to assume that there's going to be a lot of fighting from this corner and this corner. I don't know if you can actually see across. It might be difficult. You might barely be able to. So I'm assuming this is going to be the heavy lane, this corner, and maybe even push up into here and fight around these corners. So I don't know exactly how this is going to play out. It's kind of hard to see on the minimap. I have not seen this map yet, okay? We'll probably do a separate video on it, or after I've played a couple of games on it or whatever, but yeah, I'm just going off what I see on the minimap. Scout terrain and medium terrain, I would say up north here, and TDs, I don't know where TDs are going to go on this map. Possibly there's some firing locations from like here and here across. I don't know, I can't quite tell how much cover there is in between. I'm going to assume these are buildings, so there might not be a straight line across everywhere here. I don't know. But I'm guessing TD and medium line is going to be up here. Heavily armored TDs are going to stay in town. And going to take either these routes or around here. But we're going to have to see how this one plays out. I'm not quite sure. I'm definitely interested. It seems to be, it seems to have some opportunities. Okay, they have made improvements and corrections to Arctic regions, Tundra, Komarin, Windstorm, and Northwest. So we'll have to see again. I'll probably do a separate video on those maps and see what changed. They've changed the appearance frequency of Runeberg on fire. I didn't really see that map that often. I'm seeing, which one is it? Richer, or whatever you want to call it. I'm seeing that one a lot. And I really wish I didn't, because I hate that map. Depending on what tank I'm on. Anyways, they have changed up historical battles once again. Let's take a look. We have this new one that uses the Valentine Cruiser 3, Matilda, Crusader, and the Cruiser 2 versus a PZ2, a PZ4D, a PZ3A, a PZ3, a PZ Yak 1, and the Stuk 3B. Pretty interesting matchup on Sand River, open map. I don't know. I kind of feel like this one is in favor of the Germans. They seem to have the better and higher tier tanks than this one, and I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be fair. From just a tank perspective here, just tanks, I would say that the Germans will win this one, but, most of the time. I don't know. But, hello, UK tanks in historical? Next one up is the KV-1. This is the Bryansk front? Not sure. KV-1 T-34, T-60, BT-7, T-26, and a T-70 versus a 38T, poor 38T, a PZ-3, a PZ-4H, a SUSTeK-3G, and a PZ-2. This one feels like it's in favor of the Russians with a KV-1 T-34s. Those are quite powerful tanks compared to these. And then we have the Spring Awakening, which was already in there, so nothing new, although I'm not entirely sure if the ISU-152 was in there, because I'm pretty sure it wasn't. So is this balancing against the Tiger II, because that one is new in this one as well. Because there actually wasn't the Tiger II in there as far as I know. So it feels like this has been mashed up a bit. The Tiger has been removed, if I'm not mistaken. Target 2 added, IS, not sure if that one was in there. And we now have the ISU-152 in here. So, and the other two missions or operations have been removed. So I don't know if this is going to be a thing where they rotate the historical battles to go through all of them. I don't know. What if just removed them for imbalancing purposes because they were imbalanced? I don't know. So yeah, they've been removed and switched over a bit. I don't think I can participate because I don't own any of the tanks in there now, so that kind of sucks. Anyways, let's move on. Let's try to not make this into 1 hour video, although I can't make any promises. Let's see. Well, like I said, they've removed the other two, the Kursk and the Bulge ones. Minor visual problems and textures and patterns in a large number of vehicles fixed. Well, you know, can't really show you that because I don't know what they fixed. Minor visual problems and patterns fixed on maps. Fixed minor mistake on the Valentine II and PZ-3 Panzerkopfwagen 38T models. I don't know specifically about the Valentine II, but I do know about the Panzerkopfwagen 38T. And that thing had armor missing. It had 0% armor in some cases. Like, let's say this was the 38T, excuse me. It had like squares here where there was like no armor whatsoever. I think the entire front lower plate or something was no armor. Not that the thing has a good chance to bounce anyways, but having no armor is kinda sucky. Any explosive shell will pretty much wreck your entire tank, even though, you know, it has little armor to begin with, but it was pretty ridiculous. So they fixed that. They have changed the effects of exhaust gases. We'll take a look at that later. They have changed the emblem locations on certain vehicles. Well, I don't have a clan, so it doesn't really affect me, but I guess they just fixed it. Vehicle explosions have changed. We'll take a look at that in a bit as well. They have display of marks. Now this is interesting. I guess you can't see it in a garage, which is kinda sucky. But what they've done is they've added marks on the barrel, and it's going to be different for every nation, that shows you the amount of average damage you do, and I think it's on a daily basis that it resets. And it basically shows you like you're better than 65%, 75%, or 85% of the players. That's what it compares it to, something like that. So what it does is it takes your average damage and compares it to those values and then gives you a score. And the score will show up on Russian tanks. You will see a star, so you'll see like 3 stars on a barrel, and you'll know it's a good player, or yeah, I guess it's a fair indication. Doing 75% more damage than other players in the game for that day, it's a fair indication. I don't know if it's on a per tank basis though, or a count. I'm not entirely sure. The Germans will have a set of small rings, and I think it's multiple small rings for one, you know, level. The Americans will have, I don't know, I think it's sort of dots, but I'm not entirely sure. The Chinese will have stars, the Russians will have stars. I don't know about the Japanese, to be honest, what they have. So yeah, you'll see an indication on like right around here on the barrel. I'm not sure if I can show you that in game, but if you don't want to see it, you can go into your settings and you can turn it off here. So if you don't want to see it, that's where you can turn it off. Okay, let's carry on. Function of a blown off turret slipping off a tank hull added. So if it hits the tank, and it will just slowly slide off the tank. They've been talking about this for a while, and they finally added it and fixed it that it actually works. That's good. Collision of a blown off turret with surface now depends on the surface type. So whenever it hits a certain type of something, it will, depend on what it hits. 5 new awards added for artillery. Well, nobody gives a fuck. Let's move on. Awards added to team battles. Sorry, don't participate in those. Conditions for billets medal. No, that they changed a couple of medals. Let's put it like that. Awards. Not quite sure where it is. I don't think it's in there. I think it's in the epic. No. Actually, not quite sure. Which one was it? Oh, the Brunos has changed as well. They've clarified the description a bit, so it's not really important. They didn't change any actual things on it. They just changed the description of it a bit. Let's see, what else do we have? Fix the award conditions for technical genius achievements that might not have been credited before, in case there were users unfulfilled award conditions. Okay, so they've basically fixed it so you actually can get the technical genius, which is located somewhere around here. I can never remember where these damn things are, what they look like, especially if I don't own them. I think it was a blue one, wasn't it? It's around here somewhere. Is it that one? No. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. I swear. Not important. So let's take a look over here. They've updated the version FF mod sound library. I do have some complaints, but I will get to that in a later point. I have some issues. Gunfire sounds muting added in sniper mode. So if you're in sniper mode, that technically means you're inside your tank, right? You're looking through the observation port, and it muffles the sounds around you, which is actually a kind of cool feature because, you're in the tank, so it makes sense that you hear gun sounds less. Different tonal characteristics added to gunfire sounds depending on the side of the gun that you're at. So if you're like behind somebody's tank is firing, you're gonna hear it a lot less than if you're looking down his barrel. So that's pretty cool, and the sound effects are pretty awesome, I have to say. But again, we'll get to that in a bit. For testing purposes, engine suspension sounds for the patterns on the US M18 Hellcat and M36 Jackson destroyers have been reworked. In that light, we will go and buy a Hellcat real quick, and we'll take it out into a battle at the end of this video, and we'll take a look. Now let's get a 75% crew, don't really care. Let's put on everything. Come on. Oh, let's get that one first, otherwise it won't auto-mount it. There. And we'll go to Tank Destroyer, Hellcat, Service. I'm not even gonna bother with consumables. Whatever, it's not gonna be a brilliant game, it's just gonna be a test for the sound. So we'll get to that in a bit. Online offline status has been fixed if people are on different servers now. Maximum number of characters in chat messages in a garage is up to 512, so you can send bigger messages, which is actually nice. Summary tab of the achievements window, the clan icon and date the player joined the clan will now be displayed. Well, I can't really show you that because I don't have a clan. Corrected improvements affecting interface in team battles. Okay, great. Display of the time period of historical battle added. Okay. Dialog window for confirming changes in graphical settings changed. Woohoo. 10 company battles, it's no longer possible to start a battle without a commander. That seems like a good thing. Display order of parameters in the summary tab and achievement windows changed. Fine. These are all not really interesting, so I'm going through them real quick. So yeah. Dynamic field of view. Let's take a look at that real quick. Settings. Graphics. They've now added a dynamic field of view. Set the minimum and maximum in arcade aim, maximum angle when use the camera zoomed away from the vehicle. It's kind of interesting. So if you zoom out, you're going to see more, and if you zoom in, you're going to see less. It's kind of interesting, but I like to see more at all times because situational awareness. So yeah. As for my graphical settings, I'll give you a quick overview of what I have, so you can maybe adjust your settings accordingly. I do this because of the frame rate. I have to record. That's something you have to remember. I do record video, and that makes a huge difference. So keep that in mind. So you can maybe run it better. I can run it better. I mean, I'm running at 50 frames usually, but I have to record, and I want a smooth gameplay while recording, so that's why. But I have some issues. Again, we'll get back to that later. They've rearranged the graphics settings a bit. Not really interesting to show you. Start time for display of tracer effects changed. I have a feeling that tracers changed in general, because I could actually see my shells fly. If you've played War Thunder Ground Forces, you know when you're in sniper mode and you can see your tracer fire go whenever you're firing. That sort of kind of smoke-ish trail behind your shell. You can see that now in World of Tanks as well when you're in sniper view. It's a lot like it. So if you've played that, you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Crew members can be trained for skills and perks even if the vehicle is damaged. It's something I never understood is why can you, if we go into, let's go into service here, why can you not automatically repair your tank? It's not like War Thunder where you can just have it stand around and automatically repair over time, which I would love to see added. I mean, if you can do overtime repairs for free, just, you know, give an X amount of time per tank, different per tank, per size of tank, per weight, I don't know what, but, you know, let it automatically repair over time, then it would make sense to have this. Otherwise, why is this even an option? Yeah, to save money, but you can't do a damn thing with the tank. You can't even sell it when it's broken. There's no point in having this here. This should just be removed and always just automatically pay for repairs, because it's useless. Anyways, that was a little segue into my opinion of the game. Let's carry on. Where were we? Shaking of tracks when switching between HD vehicles in a garage is fixed. I've never actually had that issue. So apparently if you switch between a HD model and a normal model or something, the tracks would glitch. I don't know. I've never actually seen that, so if you have, let me know. Wow, this barrel looks like it's red hot. I kind of feel like my tank is in the red light district here. It's like, there's all these tanks looking around here behind windows selling the... No, I'm not even gonna go there. Sorry. Let's get back to the changes here. We're getting to the better changes here in a second, so don't zap away to a different channel. Let's see. Certain bugs and defects in graphics settings window changed and fixed. Okay. Issues with excessive load on the video card when game minimized. Fixed. Yeah, that has been fixed. I can confirm that. The video card activity goes to 0%, which is just, it doesn't mean it's not doing anything because, you know, it's rendering your screens, you know, but it means it's not doing any graphical actual work. So yeah, that is confirmed. That is fixed. Certain bugs during battle playback fixed. That's replays. Yeah, there were a lot of bugs in replays, like auto aim fixing your camera. Your aim circle, even if the turret moved or even if you moved. That was a bug I've noticed. People that were in other platoons getting put in your platoons. That one was pretty funny. So all of a sudden I was in a platoon of 4 people. Color-wise, that was it. They just became, you know, the orangish color. So that was a bit weird. I think it was another bug, but yeah, those were at least 2 bugs that I found. Issues when in certain case ricochet effects was displayed on penetrating armor. Fixed. That sentence isn't really great. I'm just reading it here, but so in some cases the shot would pen, but it would show you ricochet. Vehicle burning effect optimized for better performance. Yay. Fixes the bug that causes equipment mounted on the vehicle to be displayed in a random order in battle. Okay, that's kind of sucky, because I like this stuff the way it is. Wait, is it equipment or equipment mounted? Okay, this is in a different order. Well, who gives a shit? It's equipment. Now, consumables, that would be really annoying if your fire extinguisher isn't where you expect it, but equipment? Who cares? Your camo net and your binoculars will be in a different place. Oh, boo-hoo. Okay, well, you know, it's a bug, it needs to be fixed, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. Fixed incorrect display of tracers. Some of them might fly through a vehicle before the fixed implementation. Yeah, I've seen that, actually. I have seen that. So that's why. I've had, ever since 9.0, I've had an idea that some shells would actually, it literally went through tanks. I saw them hit, but didn't do anything, no critical, no damage, nothing. It would fly through a tank. And that was probably just the shell tracers being fucked up and being in a wrong location. That was probably why. Okay. Fixed an issue with camera movements in arcade mode. Okay, now that we have all of the fixes out of the way, and we're like 20 minutes in, we're getting to the interesting parts. Upper limits of the range of battles for tiers 4 the 7 light tanks reduced. Now, I'm not quite sure why they say tier 7 tanks, because tier 7 tanks will still see tier 10 games. So, I don't know why they mentioned tier 7. Unless tier 7 I want to see tier 9, which would be brilliant. I would love this tank even more, but I don't think that's the case. Sadly, you can't really see battle tiers in here, unless they've added it somewhere. No. That would be a nice thing to add, if you can actually see like what tier your tank would get into for light tanks, because some of them have, you know, special matchmaking and stuff. This thing I would not mind if it would get preferential matchmaking. Would be great, but it's a tier 7, so it will still see tier 10. Tier 6s will only see tier 9. Tier 5s will only see tier 8 max. I don't think the Chaffee though has, I don't know. I think the Chaffee will still see tier 10. I don't think they've changed the Chaffee up to the point where it won't. It still gets the screwed up matchmaking, but it might have been reduced to the point where you see less tier 10 battles, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. So yeah, I think this is going to be the odd man out. The Steward should only see tier 8 now, max. So that should be a big help. Or maybe even tier 7, I'm not sure. Not sure about that one. Anyway, so yeah, I don't have a graph in front of me that tells me what tank sees what, so it's just guessing right now and don't know exactly. But on average, think that your tank, if it's tier 6 and below, will see 1 tier less than it did before, give or take. So that's good. After fire visibility factor of all tank destroyers except for premium tanks aligned mainly increased with the factor of same gun types and other vehicles. So what this means is your TDs, their visibility after fire, it basically depends on the size of your gun, that's what it comes down to, has been averaged out to what a same caliber gun would have. So I'm using a 100mm on this one. That means it's probably gonna get roughly the same visibility as my AMX 5100. Let's switch to French, which has a 100mm gun, so this one is just going to be as visible as this one after firing, is what it comes down to. It doesn't get the extra bonus camouflage that tank destroyers got previously when sitting behind a bush. It got like a 10% extra bonus camo value if you were sitting behind a bush. That has been removed. Except for premium TDs, they keep their bonus value. Now, some say that that has turned water tanks into pay to win. Yeah, in some ways I would agree, because I think that for some tanks it is ridiculous that they've kept it. Mainly this piece of garbage. Where is it? That one. That thing is ridiculous to begin with. That rate of fire is just absurd. And that one should not keep its camo bonus in my opinion, because that thing already is pretty insane. So yeah, I sort of agree with the pay to win idea, although it's not really pay to win as such. I mean, a Jack Tiger 88, it already gets spotted from across the map, so it doesn't matter for that one. But yeah, changes are not to the premium tanks, and also because it's a system that's been in the game pretty much forever, and people bought these tanks. You know, it's kind of sucky if they would remove it from bought tanks. So I don't know. That's the other part of it, the commercial side. They would be killing their own player base if they did that. So yeah, I can sort of understand that they don't want to touch the premium tanks. They've changed the damage on a 76mm gun. I have no idea. On a couple of guns actually. There was a bug where the APCR rounds would do 5 more damage. So that's fixed. Now, to get to the probably the most interesting part of this whatchamacallit, patch. Light tanks, all nations. The MT25 and the VK2801 have changed. It's been a while. Let's first get to the VK. They have basically done all the suspension tricks to make it, you know, better ground passability or whatever it's called. So they've did that on soft, solid, and medium terrains, all terrains, and the maximum forward speed has changed from 60 to 68. As you should be able to see here, 68. So extra top speed. Nothing else has changed, but trust me, those suspension changes that you can't really see anywhere, trust me, they make a huge difference. On my Super Pershing, yeah, Super Pershing, right? And that's a slow ass tank. It made going across map, I think there was a more than 10-second difference between just those terrain changes on the tracks. Going the exact same path from one end of the map to the other, there was like a 10-second difference in getting there or something. I don't remember, you'll have to check back the other video, but... And that was on a slow tank. You can imagine how much it does on a fast tank. It will make your cornering better, it will make your acceleration better, your overall handling, your speed, your continuity with speed. It changes a lot. For a scout, it's huge. The same goes for the MT25, pretty much. All the terrain passability. However, this one also gets a upgrade of the engine. The top engine is now a 700 horsepower engine instead of a 600 horsepower engine. 100 more horsepower. That is huge on a light tank. Huge. So we'll take a look at some gameplay here in a second. The T20, or excuse me, T20, A20 has the upper two battle tiers removed. I don't remember what A20 got into, but I think it was tier 8 max. So that would mean that A20 only gets into tier 6 games now, which makes a hell of a lot more sense. And last but not least, the M4 Sherman got nerfed. I thought that this was already applied last patch, but it hasn't. They have planned, or they have done it now. Aim time for the 105mm has changed from 2.3 to 2.5 seconds, and the reload time has changed from 8 seconds to 9 seconds. M4 has been nerfed with a derp gun. It's not a massive nerf, it's not something you can't overcome, but it is kind of nasty. So, let's take a look at some gameplay. And first off, I'll take out the Land-Lease oil and we'll put in the fire extinguisher, just to keep it, you know, what most people have. Let's take a look. And of course, here we are on my least favorite map. But hopefully this will demonstrate what this tank now is capable of. We have a T50 off to our left. As you can see, we're already up to 40 kilometers here. 50, 60, almost 70. This thing is pretty damn quick now. I mean, we're still doing 50 up this hill here. Actually kind of lost as to where I am. Okay, we're here. I think this bush is really big enough for me to park in. Yeah, there's too much damn cover over there. Can you actually see these guys? Yeah. These are new gun sounds. Put me to the lower plate. So those are gun sounds, so pretty nice. And I'm just gonna fire here, but just so we can hear a bit what's going on. Well, that one didn't go through. That one in, but as you can see, I'm having frame rate issues. My frame rates are dropping to sub 20 or sub 30, so 20 somewhat. I do like these gun sounds, by the way. I think they're awesome. But here, 22 frames. I'm having massive frame issues. So yeah, frame issues are back, guys. Sorry. I know that the For the Record guy, what's his name? Silent Stalker, I think. He said that he had no issues and that everything was better for him. Super, I'm spotted. Reverse 30 kilometers. That was a pretty damn good reverse rate as well. Yeah, this seems to be a pretty decent. Oh crap! Ow! Yeah, that was stupid. Oh, and he just hit the wreck in front of me. I just think I reversed pretty quick. Let's see, acceleration uphill here. Accelerating, yeah, to over 25, 26, going up that slope. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, trying to get a shot at here. Oh, we actually tracked him. Wow. I actually kind of like this tank, to be honest. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm kind of thinking about getting one, which is weird. Whoa! Okay. Well, that's a new explosion. That was not a ammo rack. That was just a new explosion. So, yeah, I'm having massive frame drops. Massive. I mean, I'm, you know, cruising at 48, 49 right now while recording 50, and it goes down to 22. And I can't really put my finger on it just yet what it is. I think it's, oh, and I have micro lag frame rate issues as well, where when people get spotted, I lag, or people shoot. I've had people firing and that causing problems. So I'm kind of thinking it has something to do with the smoke effects. So I might try turning off extra effects and see if that fixes all my frame rate issues, because that's kind of what it feels like now. I mean, these explosions are cutting into my frame rate, but not as much. So I'm not quite sure what it is. They're a bit Hollywoody though, the explosions, but you definitely know when a tank explodes. There's no mistaking. Now, I'm wondering, can we actually see those battle markings I was telling you about? Nobody seems to have them, so I don't know. You're supposed to see them on the barrels. There should be like a mark on the barrel, if they have any, but oh, there we go. The end of the barrel. It's kind of hard to see. There, at the very end of the tip. See it? There's white stripes. That's what it is. So he has 3 rings, if I saw that correctly. That means he's like the highest tier of player. So I don't know how that's gonna work with camo though. Whoa, nice bump there. Okay, well, that was that game. Not really a brilliant game. I just wanted to show you guys the sounds and things and stuff, so I didn't really play as a scout, but who cares? It's a test server, right? They've changed this up a little bit. As you can see here, they have direct hits as penetrations in 1. They have damage / destroyed. Enemies damaged, you know, the count. That into 1. They got base capture and defend points into 1, so they've combined a lot of these things here. You have damage. You have damage done in over 300 meters, so sniping damage. I'm not quite sure why they've split those 2 up. I'm wondering if there's going to be a bonus for range damage or something. I don't know. Would sort of make sense-ish, I guess. Except for artillery, because, you know, that doesn't count. I don't think they changed anything in the team score. No. And this is still the same as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's the MT25. Let's take a look at the VK. And here we are in Komarin, and I have confirmed that the VK can get into tier 9 games. So tier 6 gets into tier 9, tier 7 gets into tier 10. Thanks, okay, fine, sure, I'll go that way, thanks, asshole. Yeah, do you notice any changes here? This is all dry riverbed. This is no longer all water. And people don't seem to freaking realize that the map has changed. Oh man, they've removed a lot of the marshlands. Yeah, see? Lag when somebody gets detected. That lag is back. Okay, can't see him anymore. So this map has changed drastically. Absolutely drastically. Just fired. Trying to put one into his track wheel, but nope. So, yeah, as you can see, people are very confused. Yeah, I have no hope of pinning him. Oh my god, I just bounced something. Who the hell did I just bounce? And where? there. Huh. If you change the textures for ricochets? I don't know. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that T30 is proxy spotting me. Or I'm proxy spotting him, depending on how you want to see it, but... So I'm just hoping that anybody has a line on him. Would be nice. There's still a hill over there. But yeah, this map has changed quite drastically. Ow.
Sichtgerät ausgefallen. Wir sehen kaum noch was.
Yeah, fucking RHMs. I hate those things so much. I don't know if I'm still proxy spotted. I need my mods. I can't tell if this is close enough for proxy spotting or not. I think so. Yeah, it must be. There's nobody else here to spot him. I'm actually quite surprised at the elevation this thing has. Yep, what do you want, Centurion? Go away. My spot. Actually has decent elevation on it. So yeah, I don't have the derp gun on this thing. I know a lot of people use the derp gun as well. Oh, that RHM wants to get me. And he got me. Yeah, I can't wait for RHMs to get nerfed into the frigging ground. I hate those things with passion. But yeah, explosions are not causing much lag. You know, they're rendering an explosion, so of course it's going to cause a little bit of lag because it's something that wasn't there before. You know, it's grading something. What are these bobos doing? Just friggin' sitting there. Okay then. So, yeah, that's the VK... what's this thing called? 2801. It's just more mobile than it was before. Top speed has... well, the top speed changed by 8 kilometers. And it's gonna be a little bit easier and just better on the acceleration than it was before. It's not gonna be brilliant, but... yeah, I'm loving these gun sounds. It sounds so much better now. So much better. And the gun sound depends on the caliber of the gun. I mean, this just sounds awesome compared to what it was before. This is just great. So far, I haven't lost a game yet today. I think this is going to be my first loss. Yeah, those explosions kill my frame rate by about 5, so it really isn't too bad. Yeah, so I didn't have any micro freezes in this map, so I don't know what it is. Maybe it's still all the models that need to get, you know, cached or something. I'm not sure how they do that. So anyways, that's enough looking at this game. This is a loss anyways, but it doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for. So, that is... I was gonna say War Thunder. Wow, World of Tanks 9.1 patch, the first version of the test server. Let's take a look at this thing. At least have something to look at. This thing, I would say, is back into the game. The view range on this thing is not great. I've done a review of this tank before when it came out to see if it was a good T50-2 replacement. This tank has never been a bad scout. People just hated it because it replaced the T25-2, which was so loved by everyone, but the thing was a freaking UFO. It flew across the damn battlefield. The tank in real life could do like 20 kilometers instead of the 500 it was doing on the battlefield. The tank was a complete work of fiction the way it was handling. It wasn't even remotely close to what it was in real life. In real life, the thing was an infantry support tank that could barely move faster than infantry. It had nothing to do with the tank we had in game. So that's what people compare it to, and yeah, then it looks like a shit tank, but in its own right, it's not a shit tank. View range, I wish they would have buffed it, to be honest. The view range of 370 is a little bit shitty for your tier 6 light. An end-of-line light, I might add, for now. I'm pretty sure they're going to add more Russian lights as well at some point, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I wish it had a little bit more view range, but give it binoculars and optics, if you can afford it, and it's still a pretty damn good scout. Its view range should be around 460 meters. So yeah, that's not bad at all. So it can definitely work as a scout, and now you actually have the speed to get into places, because this thing is bloody fast now. It will do 60 no problem, and that was on marshy, soft terrain. So acceleration is excellent now. Reverse is pretty damn good as well. I don't know what the reverse speed on this thing is, so you can't see that in game, right? But yeah, it seems like a pretty competitive light tank now, is what I was looking for. Gun, of course, is yeah, has a good rate of fire, and the damage is pretty shit, but you can do okay with it. Let's take a look at my service record real quick. Only the available, and I've only done a couple of battles. My average damage is 720, so yeah, it can work. Then again, my first game was over 1,000 damage. That was a defeat. No surprise there. Let's take a look. Yeah, we didn't do jack shit. But then again, like I said, I wasn't really playing as a scout. I was just sort of shooting so you can hear the gunfire and moving a bit, but yeah. Yep, didn't want to go there. Let's go there. So yeah, that's the new light tanks for you. And of course the matchmaking has changed for a lot of light tanks. Tier 6 will only see Tier 9 max now. I don't know about the Chaffee. Can't tell you. I could buy one and try one out, but yeah, this video is long enough as it is. So maybe in a different video I'll mention it to you guys. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.